Hello Scorpio Moons, welcome to your prediction for the full moon happening in Aries on the 1st of October. Stay tuned. Not gonna lie to you, this full moon is not the easiest moon we've had this year, but I know you guys have been doing the work. And I know you've been going to those deep places, and I know you've been feeling the most, and I know you've been tapping into the healing energies that were available to you throughout September, but particularly around the new moon in Virgo. And as long as you remain conscious, or when you find yourself not coming from a space of consciousness, that you shift yourself back and recognize the mirrors. Quite nice. You're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. So, Mars is still retrograding in Aries. The full moon's going to be in Aries, and Chiron is also going to be in Aries. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so Chiron representing that wounded healer aspect of ourselves. And so it's time to do the healing work, and the things they're popping up. They're making themselves apparent. They're showing themselves. Our old wounds are being spotlighted at this point, and on a collective level, a lot of things are erupting, and we've been seeing them erupt. I mean, it's 2020, guys. It's been a time of protesting, and these things are going to continue. These things are going to be highlighted. Racism, capitalism, all these things that need to fall, all these things that are currently crumbling. But the questions we really need to be answering and asking ourselves is, are we making these transformations within? And Scorpio Moons, I know you're all about that deep inner work and that deep inner transformation and burning the things away that no longer serve you. And I feel like you've been doing so much of this healing work for so long that a lot of you are feeling the calling to become spiritual teachers at this time, and now is a good time to step into that role. And it's a role filled with responsibility, because of course you affect people, and what you say to people comes with great responsibility. And so you do need to make sure you're coming from that heart-centered space. Tap in. Make sure you're channeling. Make sure you're channeling love. But it's okay for you to step into that teacher role while you still feel like you're also a student and you're also still a seeker, because that's never going to end. And the moment you think you're a teacher and you're no longer a seeker and a student as well, and that, you know, coming to a level playing field with your students and going, hey, I'm also here to learn, and let's see how we can learn from each other while you facilitate that role as a teacher. This is important to understand. So it's okay for you to feel like you've still got healing work to do. You're still walking that path of healing. You're still seeking. You're still growing. You're still expanding. But there's a lot you've learned that you can share. And so I feel like some of you are thinking about becoming spiritual teachers in some way, shape or form, because of course this can take many different shapes and forms, but you're thinking about turning this into a business. And I say, this is divinely guided. This is divinely guided. Do that work. do that work. It's, you know, these are the kind of businesses that we really need in the world right now, while we're transforming and shifting and building a new world and shifting into the age of Aquarius and healing our versions of masculinity and breaking down our societies and asking the fundamental questions. How do we shift things in a way that actually serves everyone, because we recognize that we are interconnected, that we are one, and that at the moment, and certainly if we look back at the past 100 years, we've been acting like a cancer, eating away at ourselves, eating away at our planet, depleting her resources, these kinds of things. And so stepping into that spiritual teacher role, this is a necessary cog in this machine to transform our society and our world. And the other thing coming through here in terms of general energies, those are the general energies for you. Easy does it. It's okay. The whole thing doesn't happen overnight. Step by step. It's a process. It's okay. And you can be easy with yourself while you turn this into a new business venture. Small steps, small bites, one thing at a time, resting in between, being kind to yourself, still checking in, still doing the healing work. Very exciting stuff, guys. So in terms of the energy leading up to this full moon for you, quite a typical energy for you, Scorpio moons. We have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is all about release of emotion, letting go of the past, stepping towards the new, letting go of that which no longer serves you. And I really would love it if you guys would join me in ceremony. It's going to be an online event. I'll be hosting live on my Facebook page a healing, forgive and release ceremony on the 22nd, which is the equinox, as we shift into Libra season. And of course, it's a time of balanced energies, equal day and night time. Here in the southern hemisphere, it's our spring equinox, but for those of you in the north, it'll be the autumn equinox, and it's just a very, very powerful time of balance. Yeah, so I will link everything below. I'd really love if you would join me. I think this will correlate quite nicely with this release work that you are moving through anyway. And this release work, and you know, the thing is, the release work is never quite done. We're always going to be doing more release work, but this is a really potent time of release work and is really going to shift you into a new beginning, turning over a new page in how you take action in the world and how. And I feel like this is aligning with this sort of new business idea, this new role of teacher, this thing of sharing your knowledge. Because the thing is, when you step into this teacher role, you're just going to have to be that much more conscious about your vibration on the daily. And I think in some ways it's actually going to help you to be stepping more into your higher vibrational self more regularly. It's going to just be easier because you have that duty to the people whose lives you touch to come from that heart-centered space and to stick to your meditation and to stick to your healing work and to stick to those programs. Very beautiful. And then in terms of what is transpiring for you over the full moon, well, for some of you there's going to be proposal. For some of you there's going to be the next step in a relationship. Maybe it's moving in together, maybe it's maybe you start this business with someone you love. And you know, sometimes, you know, these definitions of what relationships and soulmates mean don't need to always be this idea of we're getting married, we're gonna pop out 2.5 kids, and you know, this kind of very old paradigm thinking. And it's also okay if that's what it's going to be for you, that's fine. But especially because I'm reading for a broad range of people here, you know, this proposal could be a business proposal from a friend who is a soulmate as well. But there really is this sense of taking a new step, taking a new phase, and really doing this with someone else, and this resulting in abundance, sitting comfortably, knowing that you are well supported, that you are loved, and maybe the right investors are coming through. Maybe you're just meeting the right people that you need to meet who are going to help you to bring this into realization. It doesn't necessarily mean you have 5 million rand or dollars or whichever currency you're using in the bank, right? It means that when you need the investment for the next step, it appears, it accumulates, it comes through. And so you're blessed in this way. So please know, and please take time to count your blessings at this time, and take time to tap into that feeling of abundance, because that's how you manifest more of it, so that you can attract more of it, right? And if you guys are wanting to check in with some of your attraction magic, or the law of attraction and abundance, and being able to just manifest what you need, Abraham Hicks is a great resource to look at all over YouTube. Have a look if you don't know them already. And then in terms of what is manifesting for you after this full moon, we have the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is talking about happy family. So this proposal leading to a sense of happy family. And for some of you, it is maybe a marriage proposal, or maybe a proposal to move in together, like I already said. And this resulting in this accumulation, or this creation of the happy family unit, right? And quite often this Ten of Cups energy is talking about the end of the journey in terms of the resulting happy family growing. So having children, or adopting children, or if we want to think in terms of business or in terms of roommates, maybe more roommates arrive. Maybe there is a necessity to hire more employees, and so the business family grows. But essentially this is paired with a Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is a creative but forceful energy, and it can be aggressive, especially in terms of this Mars retrograde energy. And so I'd like you to just be cautious that the ways in which you are accessing your fiery passions is being expressed in creative and positive ways, and that the only force of destruction you are utilizing is the destruction of that which no longer serves you, the destruction of the things in your life that are draining your energy, the destruction of relationships that are no longer serving you. So the destructive fire force, it's very useful, but we need to be conscious about how we are using it, because this can easily rather become something where, oh, you said something that upsets me, and so I lash out. We don't want to lash out. Even when we decide we need to cut a certain relationship out of our lives, it's not necessary to be ugly or mean or shout and scream, etc. You know, you can just go, okay, I accept responsibility for having created it, and I see the mirrors, and I see the things I need to change, and this relationship is no longer serving me. So, hey, I'm sorry, but I think this is not working, and I think it's not working for you either, and I think for the highest good of both of us that we just need to move on and forgive each other and let the whole thing go, because it's obviously not serving either of us, you see. So these are the kinds of ways that we can be assertive, we can set boundaries, we can release certain things from our lives without necessarily having to be aggressive or shouting or raising our voices. We can still allow other people to speak, we can allow space to hear their side of the story as well, and we can accept that there are multiple ways of seeing, and that, you know, you have your truth, I have my truth, and that's okay, they're both true for each of us. And yeah, we have the right to pick and choose our own truth, you know. And we access those truths through the divine intuitive spaces. So guys, I would really love to hear about what kind of proposals and business plans you have and what kind of new steps you're taking in the comments below. I'd really love to hear if this resonated for you. If not, that's also okay, then it wasn't for you. And yeah, I'd love to hear from those of you who are becoming spiritual teachers or who have already been spiritual teachers but are just fully stepping into that role now and fully realizing how powerful that is. And yeah, I'd love it if you joined me for the Forgive and Release ceremony, as I said earlier. Please check out the links below. I also do a live once a week on Instagram, so I'd love if you joined that space. It's a bit more immediate. Of course, it's live. I'm just reading for the people in the space, and it's become quite a playful and interactive space as well. Love to see you there. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my Facebook page. That's where my ceremony is going to be. And if you would like a full and in-depth personal reading, please do send me an email for a quote. This normally takes about an hour to an hour and a half, and I would love to do this transformational work with you. Thank you so much for being on this healing journey. Scorpio Moon.